Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on this chat with Lisa every Wednesday. Let's see who is here today. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Lisa. I'm an occupational therapist and I'm specialized in basically children with special needs. I work with kids who, they have difficulties of different ages and different conditions. And every Wednesday I connect so we can chat a little bit and talk a little bit about different difficulties. So sometimes we will be picking up topics about autism, sometimes about ADHD, sometimes about sensory issues, and sometimes about just development. Last week, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking about when to use the dummy, for how long, and especially in which ages, till which time we should be using the dummy, because it's more and more, I will say, used and promoted in parents, and sometimes it's not that good for the not just the teeth development but the speech development. And I will say, like, one of the reasons that is very complicated is just to know, like, till which age it's correct to use the pacifier, no, the dummy, or am I doing something wrong by giving my kid all the time to satisfy his sleep or his moods or whatever. And like I was just explaining to you, there is no like a specific time for it, but I will definitely encourage parents that if you have the possibility by the age of 2, maximum 3, we will need to remove it. Okay, so that was a little bit about that. Now, as an occupational therapist, no, for those who doesn't know, occupational therapists, we are, I always say that we are like those therapists that are working in many topics, vale? Okay, so we work on independent skills, we work on motor development, hello, hi. We work on gross motor development, fine motor development. We work a little bit on speech as well. You know, a lot of different areas. Hi to everybody. I am a therapist. I work with children with special needs. And this site, this area, it's only for those who are interested in to learn about children with special needs, maybe parents whose kids are special needs, or teachers, educators, therapists, etc. Okay, so basically my job is to promote my profession, yes, and answer your questions if you have anything about autism or ADHD or whatever. Panacea Therapy Center. So if you give me some support on Instagram, I always invite, and I'm super thankful that you can follow my YouTube channel and at the same time my social media. You can find me everywhere, but my center, my clinic, it's called Panacea Therapy Center. I'm sorry, hello, hi, I don't speak other languages, so I don't know. And like I said, you can always ask me anything that you want to know regarding autism, ADHD, children with development. Basically, is do you think that for a kid with ADHD, it's OCB a good alternative? Yes, I'm a therapist. Yes, occupational therapist. I will say that depend on the age of the child. I guess that we are not talking about a kid. We're talking about maybe teenager. I will say that it all depends on the difficulty that the kid or teenager with ADHD is suffering or passing through. Now you have to understand that a child with ADHD is very difficult to diagnose. So for example, we are struggling a lot having parents of the kids with the age of 6, 8, 10 years old to get the diagnosis, because it can be easily confused with other things. And easier tends to be at the age of 12, 15 years old. My name is Lisa, and the therapy center, it's Panacea Therapy Center. So basically, that's where I work. Thank you guys. Thank you for your likes, and thank you for staying with me. So I will say that in the ADHD, many things can work, but I think always it is recommendable to see what is the main difficulty. The main difficulty is organization, to get the things done, to finish projects, to be not late for school, or to be impulsive. You have a lot of different characteristics, you know. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't think I answer your question, but because I would like and I would need more details, you know, because every child is different, and in ADHD, the same like in autism, the things plays a little bit different roles. So certain skills and certain challenges needs to be observed a little bit, you know. I will say separately. Thank you very much. Yes, I hope I am doing a very good job. I really like my job, so that's the idea. And we are full in Christmas season now, so it's perfect. Sorry, my location, you can you can check it online. Like I said, the therapy center, it's Panacea Therapy Center. You will have all the information. Thank you for your services, Lisa. Keep up the good work. You're doing good work. Well, I am trying to do my best. You know, we try to work a lot with schools. We try to work a lot. Happy Christmas. We try to work a lot with parents. We try to work with other therapists, educate everyone. And this is the reason why I'm connecting here every Wednesday, to talk a little bit, not just about me, but more about my job, and maybe someone who knows someone with ADHD or autism or whatever. You know, you can always help out and say, listen, there is this therapist who talks on Wednesdays, or just, you know, give them a little bit support. You have a lot of parents who are lost, in need, parents who don't feel supported by other therapists, or maybe colleagues at work, or partners, or families, and so on. So that is the idea, a little bit, to continue promoting the super need of being together, staying together, and helping each other, right? So so yes, that's a little bit how we perceive it. I try to always be there for the parents, even though, you know, not always it's important. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I think it's a good job. Yes. Like I said, we work with children of different ages. So we have children with rare disorders, neurological disorders, mainly autism and ADHD. ADHD become very popular now, so a lot of kids are diagnosed before, but the diagnosis, like I said before, it's very difficult to get. And especially adults, you have a lot of people with ADHD without knowing that they have ADHD. And you have a lot of adults with autism, and because it's a mild autism, they don't know that they have autism, but they struggle all their life, you know. And it's when they start reading about ADHD and they start actually reading about autism, it's when they say like, that's the reason why I stay playing games for 24/7, you know, almost. And this is the reason why I have difficulties to sleep during the night. And this is the reason why I'm always late and forgetting my keys and forgetting my phone before to leave home. Things like that. But like I said before, ADHD doesn't apply the same difficulties to every single adult or teenager or whatever. But yes, in autism, for example, for adults, I always say that if you are the typical adult or teenager struggling with friendship, especially at the age of 15, 18, having like really focused hobbies, you know, like suddenly you like to read, and you read like 200 books, you know what I mean, in a year, or you like to do puzzles and suddenly everything it has to be about the puzzles, or you have topics like that, I will definitely have a look because our brain is pretty simple. We have extraordinary people, and I do believe that adults with ADHD, adults with autism, adults with, you know, any other sensory difficulty and special need are exceptional, definitely. But the typical brain, I will say, the typical brain, it's not that exceptional. So whenever we do something a little bit outside of the typical way, I always say like, it will be great that you check yourself, you know. So I am not a doctor, but thank you very much. I am a therapist, which I think in different countries means maybe something else. I don't know, but where we are working and in general in Europe, occupational therapist is, well, basically that is the title of a therapist, and you can specialize yourself with adults, kids, mental health, cancer patients, etc., etc. No, but my hobby, I will say, was always focused on kids. I always knew that I want to work with children, so that's the reason I continue working for so many years. Yes, and tolerating them. No, that's a big word, you know. They tolerate me. So yes, but yes, we are trying to do our best job. And I don't work so much with adults, even though I think it's an interesting line, but I don't think I am equipped enough to work with adults. I can recognize an adult with ADHD or an adult with with autism or whatever, but it is not my main discipline or my main focus. My main focus is to work with kids with special needs, and in general it's to promote that need of, if you are a parent who suspect that your kid has maybe some difficulties, go ahead, you have therapists who can, help you, support you, etc. That's a little bit the idea. For example, yesterday I had my first consultation with one patient. So usually before I see my clients for sessions, I will be having this first consultation, which is very general. And the mom was like, okay, they called me from school, they said that maybe there are some difficulties and so on, and I would like that an occupational therapist, check and see what's going on. Obviously, it's totally unprofessional to give a diagnosis without doing any testing and any diagnosis so on. So definitely I don't go in that level, but I can always give you an advice and, like saying, okay, maybe you can check this, maybe you can check that, etc. And with this particular kid, I'm pretty sure that we were talking about a possibility for ADHD, though he's still very little, so very little. He's 6 years old, so we still have time, but definitely I suggest to have a little bit, to educate herself, to read a little bit about it. Parents are the best professionals, I will say, to diagnose the child, because when you read about your kid online, and when you read about some information, you can sense and you can feel if your kid is actually in that profile, of okay, my kid, I'm sure that my child has ADHD or autism or whatever. So I always suggest that if you have some questions, you can always read online. Nowadays, you have a lot of things available, and you have therapists like me, or, I am sure that other people do similar things. And and you can get informed and you can get helped, or at least, understand your child a little bit better. Well, you can, I am quite available online, I will say. So on my YouTube channel, which I always say and appreciate for your followings and support, you have my details of, Facebook, Instagram, and I believe email or LinkedIn or whatever. I am on Instagram is quite common for me, and or otherwise through Panacea Therapy Center, which we are also on Facebook and on Instagram. So you can contact me there if you feel like if you need me to help you something relating to the topic, guys. Because like I said, I always mention this because I don't want to have like misunderstandings. This channel and the idea behind it's only promote information about therapy. That's all. But yes, we're constantly, to be honest, always working on different projects and thinking about different projects. There is way too many things to do, not just offering therapy sessions, but unfortunately life it's always busy. So I'm always running with ideas on my back, and trying to catch them. Hopefully one day I can do what I have in mind. So yes, like I said, today I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't prepare like a particular topic because I wanted to see a little bit if I can chat with you and say hi and say a little bit, see what you think, what you would like to know, if you have questions just in general about what is occupational therapy, or like I said, anything else that can come along. Because I really like the interaction with you. I can be talking about many topics, sometimes they could be more interesting and less, so I don't feel like I want to record every Wednesday a topic, that you might not be interested in. So I prefer to go with the flow. I can answer you in live, and I can, provide you as much as possible I can information about anything relating to obviously my profession. I received this week a comment from one particular mom who was she was commenting about the Z Vibe. Some of the videos that I am having on my YouTube channel are very related to the oral motor skills, the Z Vibe, the oral motor stimulation, etc. So we are talking about kids who will have difficulties with verbal issues, so speech delays or no speech at all. And she was saying like it's very useful, that thank you very much for the videos. Just I truly appreciate your comments, and I truly appreciate your views. Obviously, that's the reason a little bit behind what I'm doing. And it was very interesting, no, that still after so many months and years, these videos are still getting into other people, and they are still helpful. So I am extremely happy. If you need me to review some Z Vibes tools, or if you would like me, to do anything about the oral motor ability, not ability, but skills and tools that we are using, please let me know. So maybe next time I can have the kit with me and I can show you a little bit. And like I said, we are in the Christmas mood completely. So we decorated a little bit the clinic. We put some stuff for the kids. So always to make it a little bit more entertaining and funny. We prepare also, as an occupational therapist, I always suggest, if you are a therapist watching me or you are a parent, I like to prepare the kid like in this Christmas mood, so we started from the 1st of December and with maybe calendars, so we can be following the days, and not just because it's Christmas, okay, so not because of the 24th of December or 25th of December, no, but I will say more because we see around, we go to the shopping mall, we go to any shop nowadays or outside, everything is with colors and lights and a lot of big presents and Santa Claus and blah blah blah. So sometimes children with autism tends to be overwhelmed and also a little bit confused. So it's very nice that actually wherever they go, and especially in therapy, we can reinforce this mood, Christmas mood or December mood, by showing the reason why we are actually dressed up a little bit different, why we have so many decorations, why there is this vibe, December vibe, that everybody is crazy with shopping and presents and stuff. Because sometimes I did receive some feedbacks like, parents will buy toys, will prepare their best for the present, and the kid doesn't really understand that, it's Christmas, and, for Christmas we receive maybe a present for those who can, obviously. And it's not because they don't care, but sometimes sensory wise they are not present, they are thinking about something else, or they are stimulated by something else. So really and truly, that social behavior that the rest of the typical humans being we have about being super happy about receiving our presents, children with special needs and children with children with special needs, they don't have that concept. And it's important to work with that concept, and it's important to prepare them, So not preparing them 1 week before or 2 weeks before, or just, like, you have to understand it's Christmas Day. No, we try to always introduce it before, work on it slowly. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, that's a little bit the idea. So we prepared a lot of fine motor skills, tools, we prepared a lot of photocopies, we prepared a lot of things to games for Christmas, like some puzzles, some other stuff that needs to reinforce a little bit the Christmas mood, which is very nice as well. So like this, the kid is always surrounded by that idea, I will say that also Christmas is not Christmas, December, it's a very nice month. Half of December goes by with the school, and the other half it's holidays. So it's also time for big changes. Children with sensory difficulties and children with sensory difficulties, autism, children who they like the routine and suddenly the routine changes a lot. This momentum, it's also very hard for parents, because you have a lot of parents who are traveling, you have a lot of parents who will be on holidays without therapy, you have other parents who continue with therapy, so that's fine. And obviously, whenever we have this momentum of big changes for children with autism and in general, sensory needs, it's crucial, So I always suggest prepare your kid before, that the holidays are going to come, so talk a little bit about the holidays. That maybe they're going to be maybe a concert or whatever, so we talk a little bit about the concert 1 week before or few days before. So we always tend to prepare the child, so there is no this shocking meltdown of child being suddenly surrounded by sounds and lights and music and a lot of people, and you don't understand why your kid is shouting or pushing or biting or having a huge meltdown. So yeah, I always suggest to parents to avoid these situations, which at the end of the end, I understand it's uncomfortable for the parents, it's uncomfortable for other people, it's uncomfortable for the kid to be in such a situation, especially because he's not understanding why he's in that situation. So I always suggest to the parents, don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you prepare him before, whatever event you're going to go to or attend or whatever, and yeah, with a little bit of or a little visual schedule or a little bit of preparation, just by talking, listen, we have 2 days left for the concert or to go there or whatever. It's really it helps. If you're going for holidays, especially if you're going to take a plane, etc., it also very much make a difference when you can prepare your kid a little bit before. Some children get a little bit too overexcited, knowing that in 1 week they are going to go on a plane, knowing that in 1 week they are going to travel, etc., etc. So I do have parents that don't say it, and for example, 2 days or 1 day before, they start, like building up a little bit, like, you know what, we are soon going, or but I think it all depends on the child. Yes, because we do have a lot of kids who will be repeating the same sentence and the same plan since weeks, before to go. So it's like, okay, how many times we are going to talk about that? Yes, you're going on holidays, and we are going to do first, second, and third. But the brain works so amazingly beautiful, that for some kids you just need to say it once and that's it. For other kids, it's a necessity to be comfortable and to be structured and to be not to become overwhelmed sensory wise, having that little reminder, like little okay. The same, like for example, for adults, I will say, maybe it's not the same but very similar. We are checking our calendar almost every day. At least I do. Maybe it's me, but I am checking all the time, even though I know by heart my calendar, but I still have that little need to reorganize maybe myself, or organize or keep organized my day or the weekend or whatever. So that's a little bit that need of those extra minutes or seconds that I will check my calendar and I will say, yes, today I have this. And it's a way of regulating myself, and the nervous system is like, okay, settled, I know what you need, I know what's going to happen, and that's it. Pretty much we work all of us the same. There is no need for you to have autism or ADHD to have this need to organize, well, in ADHD they don't have the need. They wish to have the need to organize. They need to have the wish of being organized, but they don't really organize themselves by themselves. So let's put it that way. And in autism, the same. It's something that it comes from external, maybe someone suggesting you, hey, listen, why don't you try maybe this technique or that technique? A typical brain looks for that need, like, okay, I am a mess, or I cannot be having 100 plans and projects at the same time. Let me split up, let me do this month, the next month, etc. So yes, I think it's like a little auto-regulation for our body, and in autism and ADHD works pretty much the same. It's a satisfaction for the brain to know that you know exactly what will happen. Now, I don't know, maybe you have people, I don't know, some of you, who doesn't really follow such structure, and that's okay as well. I guess so. It all depends, like we are all different, so we all work completely differently. So yeah, that's a little bit the thought, but yes, I have parents who put the Christmas tree in November, and they start decorating in November and everything. But I find like the same, that it's not good to keep the kid 2 weeks before Christmas or 1 week before Christmas. Say, listen, now it's Christmas. Look, there is a Christmas tree. And it's nice to prepare slowly, bit by bit. But because at school or in other places, he will see that there is something going on. So I think December, like first weekend or whatever, whenever you have time, it's nice to start. I think it's a little bit can bring the confusion for some kids if you start too early. So I'm not telling you that November, October, it's not the ideal, okay? But there is the preparation for Halloween, for those who celebrate Halloween. I don't know. I think it's more commercial situation and more fun for kids just to collect sweets. To be honest, there is no like such a thing like celebration. But kids are excited about dressing up and maybe go for those sweets. And then suddenly, boom, there is the Christmas already. But Christmas is not happening till the next month. And there is not such a concept of I have to wait 2 months. It's like, we put the Christmas tree, okay, so maybe presents are coming. but they will be coming in 2 months' time. So for me, I think it can bring a bit of confusion. So yeah, just be careful. But obviously, you know your kid better, you know your client better. So it doesn't matter who is watching me or whatever. You can obviously feel free to share your opinion. But I just said, like, sometimes we have to be careful. Some children, for example, it's good to adapt a little bit before, so they get used to the Christmas tree. They get used to not to touch the Christmas tree and not to throw all the balls, you know, the bubbles, the Christmas bubbles, you know, and yeah. So, like I said, for every kid will work differently. But at Panacea, we love Christmas. It's always a really nice, how to say, special moment of the year. So, yes. Well, thank you very much for chatting with me and for listening to me and for asking me questions. Today I'm going to close it here. I hope to see you next Wednesday. And for next Wednesday, I will prepare something a little bit, maybe more of a topic, okay? But otherwise, if you have questions, you can always contact me. You can also write me, and I will prepare, make sure that I answer your questions as well, and I will share some of my experiences or momentums or thoughts as a therapist, okay? In the meantime, have a good night, safe night, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.